Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Job Shop USA. My name is Keith and I'm your host. Today we're working on a tranny, not like the sick trannies that we have nowadays. This tranny's not sick. It's broken, but it's not sick. All right, so we have a transmission here. And this tranny is out of a tug at an airport. The machine pulls and tows airplanes around. So they were doing a rear main seal and they dropped this out, and all of a sudden these parts fall on the ground here. So we have the flange face that's broken out here, and we're going to do a repair. All right, let me bring you in and zoom you in a little closer, and we're going to show you what I'm going to have to do to prep this thing. Whoops, not over there. All right, all along this surface right here, there's no real fresh breaks. It looks like it's been broke for a while. Even looking at this piece right here, there's a little darker here than there is right here. There might have been a little area there, but this was broke, and back in when it was assembled, it was probably run many days with it broken already. Regardless, we're going to go ahead and get it cleaned up. Aluminum is very tough, especially the cast aluminum. Getting it clean enough to do a weld and perform. Now we have a little spacer that goes in here. It's going to help us get our peripheral line up on this. Be able to put bolts in to hold it. But we'll put a strong back and straight edge on here, because we're not going to machine this. You can see that they don't want to take this thing apart. They don't want to do anything. They just want to put this back in here so that they have these two bolts actually working on the top side here to help hold the transmission to the engine. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to start cleaning this up. I'm going to get out some tools and some acetone, and we're probably going to put this part in the bead blast cabinet. We have another little chunk here. We'll put this in, clean it up as well, and then we're going to start taking the rotary burr and prepping out this surface right here. All right, I twisted this 90 degrees on the table because I want to stand here. This is where I want to be able to weld, and it's comfortable for me. We put these two parts into the sandblaster. Little tiny bit of paint in here, but we're going to rotary burr and be cleaning this, because even sandblasting embeds a grit material into the surface that you're going to be welding. All right, so we're going to be prepping these further, but that's a start to get those clean. Now the case is a little different story, because we can't just put that in there and clean that up that way there. So we're going to be taking, they power wash this with degreaser and stuff, but we're going to get in here first, and we're going to hit the inside and outside lip here with stainless steel wire cup. And I also like the Osborne wheels here as well, so that we can at least get both of those surfaces prepped back there. Then we're going to go ahead and acetone it down, get it degreased, and then we're going to take the torch and we're going to preheat this, and we're going to pre-burn any oils down into the materials, and then a little rotary burr, and that's how we're going to prep this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start wire wheeling, and I want the wire wheel to come off the edge here. All right, now this doesn't really give me a good thing in here to get to the surface right here, but I believe that the Osborne's gonna let me get in here, and with it coming off of the side there, I may just keep the studs clear from the wire wheel. I think we're gonna be good. Getting in there pretty good. Just a little bit in that hollow and that hollow right there, and the rest of it's all down to bright metal, at least this far in. All right, you can see I've got the piece laid in here, and here's a look along the crack on the outside. And this is what we got on the inside. Sometimes the good thing about cast aluminum snapping is it doesn't distort and bend all over the place. It has a clean break and can be located back in pretty good. Nothing's 100%. And this face right here is where we really want to be good. We don't want it to be forcing the face or split line here. The one good thing is your doweling or your locations for this to the engine, those areas are not damaged. It's just the two top ones. All right, I'm gonna hook up the hose, and I got my rotary burr here, and I'm gonna grab some aluminum tap. It actually kind of helps keep this clear from clogging. Sometimes aluminum clogs it, sometimes cast actually kind of flies away and it doesn't really build up on your burr, but we'll be ready for it. We're gonna prep this for the weld to be full penetration from the outside. So when this is held up in place, we're gonna have one weld. We're not gonna get in here and we're not gonna weld this on the inside. This is doing pretty good without galling up. Okay, with the rotary burr surface acetone wiped, we're going to add in some heat, and then we'll re-wipe it with the acetone. And we're going to heat this piece and the other little piece, and we'll wipe those as well. We'll be preheating this too just before we weld it after we have everything clamped up here. This is basically to just burn it out a little bit, let it smoke. If anything, at least it's getting the moisture out from the pressure washer. When you have large flat areas and you're heating them up, sometimes you can just see the moisture rise up out of the material and then just evaporate. And that's basically just making sure that we have all of that out of here. All right, it's cooling down a little bit here. We got to get some fasteners and a strong back piece to put behind our doubler plate. And we're going to get this set up. I'll bring you back in after it's set up, ready to weld. All right, here's a good look following our crack here. And from underneath I have a picture of that. Okay, so as long as we get a good penetration in there, we should be good to go without having to weld the inside. Now I'm just preheating my area here, which I do on almost all aluminum welding. I use a mixture of argon and helium. I have two different bottles and I mix it in a Y, and I get it to where I'm very comfortable with it. And I might change the settings, but most of the time it stays where it is. No particulars, it's not top secret. I just worked out what works at the torch, and that's what you got to judge all your testing. Take a test area and do a weld. After a while, as soon as you strike an arc or whatever, you'll know what it is. The helium lets you have better penetration with less amperage on the pedal. Just get more control. All right. Now this is the first time I think I've set this lens up and tried to videographer my TIG welding. So this is a first for me, so bear with me. My rod is 43 there. Here we go. Okay, I just want to tack there and a tack over here. Okay, we're gonna bring this weld tack here. We're gonna bring it in around this plug right here. We'll come in and grab this here, and then we're going to come over here and grab this here so that it doesn't have a tendency to lift or pop out of there. We think it's in there pretty tight. All right, we're gonna pull our jig, pull these nuts, and give us the clearance to go in there. Take a look at our penetration underneath. Okay, we still got around the bolts to go, but we're gonna take a look at what we actually have in here as a penetration. So those areas have been good penetration. Split line is actually looking pretty good. And it really looks good that way. It's one of the hardest things to come in there where you got a big mass over here and a real thin layer in here. We'll rotary burr that a little bit, but I guarantee you look on the other side and I've got a good penetration there. All right, we're just gonna touch a little bit on the height right here. Just so we can grind that smooth. All right, I think we've accomplished our mission here. We'll dress it up a little bit, rotary burr just a little bit of the buildup on the inside there, and a quick wire brush, and we're good to go. We just kind of like hit it with the wire wheel on the outside. Here's a wraparound. And I took the rotary burr and I just kind of hit all the areas that the buildup. And I'm not doing anything right here at the line. All right, I'm just going to take a block and some sandpaper to that. And she's good to go. All right, we finished We've repaired our tranny, unlike Bud Light. Okay, this ain't no Budweiser commercial. Our tranny really was repaired and ready to go back to the customer. So until next time, get her done.